It's Sunday, March 18th. Welcome to Pastor Bob Daly. Tim, my friend on Facebook, says, I have been a hypocrite on too many occasions. And worse yet, I used what I perceived as hypocrites in the church as a reason not to attend. One point in my life, my mom asked me why I was not going to church. I told her it's too full of hypocrites. And she fired back, it takes a small person to hide behind a hypocrite. That bit of wisdom didn't cause me to start attending again right away, but it has stuck with me all these years, especially when I'm pointing my finger at others' hypocrisy and failing to see mine. I have been back in church for many years now, but this hypocrite tends to do more praying than hiding. Tim, what an excellent comment about hypocrites and the church. And man, I love that. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Tim, what a great lesson. And you know, it got me to thinking, what do people view the church? How do they view the church? Just a few minutes ago, I posted on Facebook, I said, I have a quick poll for you. How would you define the church in 3 words? And many of you did. And I couldn't put them all on here. I have 3 Facebook pages, about 10,000 people, and so it's kind of cool to be able to put a question up and you get a lot of answers, and there were over 100 answers on all the pages so far. But here's what some of you said. Christy said, the Love Shack. Nellie, a place of peace. Dennis, complicated and confusing. Danny, a place for the hopeless, hurt and abandoned, a refuge from the world. Daniel said, Soul Hospital. Emily says, a place for hypocrites. Dustin said, local social club. Dave said, house of judgment. Toby, Christian comfort zone. Brad says, someplace to learn. Jonathan says, broken people here. Morton says, family of Christ. Jeremy says, Americanized, astray from intent. Kimberly says, the big picture. David, home sweet home. Nargis, come as you are. Dallas, hospital for broken. Billy, tea party meeting. Steffi, money. Deborah, love, warmth, people, and hypocrites. Tom, God's children united. And then he says, AKA, wishful thinking. You know, sometimes it really is wishful thinking. And you know, honestly, there's no perfect church. I had a great discussion yesterday with a friend on how do you define church and how did church come to be? And many of us define it as a building, which it's not. Church means the body of Christ, people. And we structure things traditionally and feel like that's what we're supposed to do. But you know, as you can see here, and there are so many more great answers, people believe in church, but they're not so sure how to practice it. I read a great article called None of the Above. And it was about how people perceive their faith these days. And None of the Above says basically, I can't put myself in any of these denominational or religious categories, and so many of them define themselves as spiritual, not religious. Interesting. But there's a great trend today for genuine connection with people and with God, which, by the way, is exactly what God had in mind. How do you practice church? Well, that's up to you. Some people find that being involved in a denominational church is a great thing for them, and they get fed there, and many of you that commented here are doing just that. Some of you are frustrated and outside of it. Some of you see the hypocrites inside, but we also have to realize that that's what's inside of each one of us too. We know it's not perfect. We've heard that. We know there are hypocrites there. We know that because we know we're one of them. We know that sometimes we don't like the tradition. But folks, none of those things are excuses from staying away from some kind of a connection with other Christians. Whether it's getting together once a week at a pub and talking about spiritual things, or getting together in denominational church and, practicing in a traditional way, or just getting together with friends in a home, calling it a home church, cell group, whatever you want to call it, and studying the Bible together. You see, all of those things are church, because church has nothing to do with form or tradition or a building. It has to do with people who love each other and love the Lord together, doing whatever is necessary, teaching, encouraging, fellowshipping. Those are really important. And folks, we can talk more about what the church ought to be, and we could spend days and days and days on that, and I won't. But let me just tell you that we all need this. You need a connection with people. People who are spiritual. Maybe not religious, but spiritual. People who can help you connect with you, help you connect with them, and especially help you connect with God. Important. Once again, very soon I'm going to be putting out a new podcast called Word. And Word is basically for everybody who'd like to study together, for home groups, home churches, cell groups, home Bible studies, whatever you got. And 15 minutes, I'll just be talking about some basic things and then some questions for discussion at the end that you can take to your group and discuss. But I think it's important that we get together. And that's the most important thing you can do. So whatever that looks like, do it. God bless you. Have a great day.